Greetings to readers, viewers, and listeners, and welcome to this next edition of a relatively new segment here on the Autistic Super Channel. But it's also something that I've been doing on the Autistic Super blog as well. This is called the Power of the Prompt, and for those of you all who may not know what this entails, let me give you an example. WordPress, which is what the Autistic Super blog is part of, gives uh, it gives us bloggers um, prompts to kind of give our best answers for and kind of give an understanding of how we would answer the question that they're giving to us. So, in this one, I wanted to make this clear that this 69th power of the prompt is what makes a good leader. I will say this. I mean, people consider me an inspiration, people consider me a leader, and I wouldn't argue with them on anything like that. For me, what makes a good leader for me is I like someone who will listen to the people. I want someone who's not going to do anything arbitrarily or do some things that aren't that don't have a good standing to things. I want to be able to make sure that people are heard. I want to make sure that that a good leader for me listens to people who are trying to talk, or some people who might feel silent, that might want to think, my feelings, my stories may not be good enough. But a good leader to me lets everyone have a shot to be listened and to make sure that they're heard. Um, like a good leader, to use a Latin phrase, listens to the vox populi, listens to what the people are talking about. And that's kind of the reason why, dear readers, viewers, and listeners, I ask you guys for your feedback when it comes to when it comes to Autistic Super Channel and on WordPress. I want to give a couple of examples of people who are good leaders. Like for me, in the Art Mid Hudson, there's wonderful leadership with John McHugh and his leadership team, who really helped us during the COVID-19 pandemic, and really showcased. I mean, and really kind of talked to us through this whole situation. Um, I mean, who really did a lot with the conflicting information they were getting. They had to transcribe two things. They had to transcribe two sets of rules and try and merge them together. And I know that the Arkman Hudson and other arcs within New York and nationally were not the only ones that were feeling the feeling a problem with this. I mean, that's kind of the reason why I really respect and like people like John McHugh, people that are willing to listen to the people, willing to not to give people an answer when they need it and the time that they need it. And that was a challenging time, and for that I always have respect for John McHugh and New York and Hudson, of course. Um, I've always been of the opinion myself that a good leader gets the best out of every everyone they see. Um, a good leader gets to see even if a person is feeling like lower than themselves, feel like their feelings are less than, the individual is heard and respected. Um, one I'll give one more example. I'll give an example from my own life. Um, as you all might know, I'm part of the Global and Regional Autism Syndrome Partnerships Board Directors, and I'm just so lucky to have uh, friends and friends and supporters who really look at me as someone whose whose story needs to be heard, and whose feelings and worries are are heard and acknowledged. I mean, I'll give an example. Um, from the Autism Society that I used to be a part of. There was one person, I won't mention names, but there was one person who wanted to keep things in line with their own vision and basically shot down what people were thinking. And that's not a slight to anyone else. The individual in question was very micromanaging. Always wanted to keep things in line with their own vision. Always wanted to kind of keep things in tune with what they felt was the right thing to do, even though everyone else may have a differing opinion. They were very firm on their decision. They were always like, uh, they felt the pressure, of course, but they always wanted to make sure that they were heard. It took a lot of time for them to listen to the person, for us to get through to the person. But when they did, it felt like it had to be a struggle, and it really didn't need to be. Um, in contrast, I have a wonderful friend who just so happens to be the president and CEO of Grasp. Her name is Kate Palmer, and she is a wonderful individual. Like someone that I'm very honored to call a friend because she, when I had issues, when I feel less than, I always feel like I can always talk to her, and she always makes me see that I'm worthy of my position and worthy that my feelings and my concerns are valid. And that's one of the best things about um about her. Um Kate always validates other people, and it really kind of is a credit to her and also to Grasp as well. So I had to go out there and say that. But I'm also I remember going to the soiree for autism for another dear friend. For the Autism Society of the Greater Hudson region, and just being able to. I mean, I bet you know one Autism Society that I was a part of, and going to the other Autism Society event, and just knowing that my feelings, my concerns were warranted and were validated. That really helped out a lot, and I really gotta give a shout out to the individual in question. I mean, she's a wonderful friend. She will call me out on my stuff when she needs to, but by and large, she's just a wonderful individual. Um, another quality about the another quality that I mentioned about being a leader is that they make sure everyone's valid. Like they make sure everyone's feelings are validated. They're respected. That their concerns are heard and warranted. Um, they make sure they take care of the people uh, that they listen to. They always want to make sure that everyone gets a shot to play. I mean, for myself, I'm part of the Artman Hudson Literacy Program, and I always do not know what I'm going to be getting myself into until I walk through the door. But I always like to make sure if I can make a difference, if I could do something to help out one person, I feel like I've done good. And I always like to make sure everyone gets a chance to be heard. Everyone gets a chance to be validated. That I always like to see to to meet people halfway. I always like to make sure um that people that if people think that things are hard, I can kind of like ease into it and kind of get them to the point where they can actually do it, and it really helps. Um, and I just want to thank all the people that I work with. You guys are amazing, and to know that you guys have my back really makes me feel like I could be the best for you guys. I you bring the best out of me, and I bring the best out of you, and that's the best way I could describe it. Just that's kind of the whole idea when it comes to being a leader. I sometimes feel like I'm not a leader. I feel like there are people that are better off than I am, or better or well spoken as I am. Um, but one thing I want to mention about being a leader, and I won't mention the person's name, but um, being a leader means not only making time for the people, but also making time for yourself. Also making time that you have that ability to just recharge your own batteries, to kind of fill your own spoons in a way, to make sure that you're not doing anything to anyone else that you wouldn't do to yourself. And I feel that that's really important too, to really like, take that time to just relax, to just chill out, and and just and just decompress. Because sometimes leaders need that. They need that time to decompress, but they also realize that if they don't decompress, they're not going to be good to anyone else, and that's important too. So that kind of gets my going on this prompt. I hope you all enjoy this, dear readers, viewers, and listeners. And if you like this video, pl- please like, share, subscribe. Check out all the videos here on the Autistic Super Channel. You can check me out on X, Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And you can check out all my videos on the autisticsuperblog.wordpress.com. Until next time, dear readers, viewers, and listeners, stay safe, stay strong, and as always, shine on.